What's up to Lion Talk Live? So we love you too, buddy.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Duke Crew. This is Ball Hawk Fatima Lafano of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
All right, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm your host once again, Dan Thornton. I want to thank you all for joining us here. Not quite noontime, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hey, it is the Saturday before the NFL kicks off. So you got about 5 days until NFL games get going. There's going to be a lot of rumors, speculations about, this, that, and the other thing over the weekend or the upcoming week. So I wasn't really surprised when in the last 48 hours, you started getting a lot of chatter about this guy's going to get traded to this team. This guy's going to move on to that team, stuff like that. Originally, I want to say about 24 hours ago or somewhere in that time frame, a number of you guys tipped me off about there were reports coming out of Dallas or Dallas media that Micah Parsons, because of the CD Lamb new contract and some of the other contracts they have, plus the demands of Micah Parsons, that it is potentially possible that the Cowboys could move on from their pass rushing star. Is it possible? I'm going to say this right now before everybody even gets on me about it. I don't see this happening, to be fair. I don't see the Dallas Cowboys trading this guy. I could be totally wrong. Maybe they do. I just don't believe it's going to happen. I didn't even really want to do a video on it until a few of you guys sent me a couple other media outlets, including Yahoo Sports, TWSN, among others, that are reporting that they have inside information or something that the two teams have even talked. To me, that's a game changer. When you have someone like Yahoo Sports saying, hey, we've got a person with inside intimate information saying we are aware that the Dallas Cowboys and Detroit Lions have had conversations regarding a potential trade. Now, to me, that makes it more than just speculation. It's a little bit above a rumor. So I still want to go on record as saying I think this is a rumor. I don't think anything's going to happen, but I've been wrong before. So could it be the Dallas Cowboys are just in a bad spot with all their different contracts, or they know they can't re-sign him, they can't keep him, so why not get something for him? You're the Detroit Lions. You had Brad Holmes come out earlier this week on Thursday and say his expectations of the Super Bowl. So let me Scooby-Doo this and throw this at you guys. If the Lions were to acquire him, Micah Parsons, how much of a difference maker do you think he does make for this Detroit defense? What I would say is, if I'm Aaron Glenn, I would say this: the amount of stunts, pulls, mid blitzes, slant blitzes and stuff that you want to use. If you watch Aaron Glenn last year and the year before, we went to more, zero coverage in the back end, mid blitzes, like I said, pulls and stuff like that. Micah Parsons can achieve all that because of his great athleticism. He can get out and move in space, and he can track people down. Mobile quarterbacks, a problem for the Detroit Lions, probably a whole lot less so if you were to acquire the star end linebacker from the Dallas Cowboys. Again, I want to reiterate, I think there's, I don't want to say a zero chance this thing happens, but I'm going to put it pretty low. I'm going to say less than 10% chance, because I guess there's always a chance in the league. The other interesting part that made me think, all right, we'll at least talk about it, is that Micah Parsons did have an article come out where he even says, hey, there's a couple teams he would prefer. And yes, the Detroit Lions were among those teams if he was to move on from the Dallas Cowboys. He reiterates he wants to stay in Dallas, loves it there, etc. A lot of good PR talk there. But the fact that he's changed his stance, because if you guys remember about a year ago, he comes out and makes comments about Detroit saying that, hey, who wants to play there? Nobody wants to go there, whatever. Situation obviously has changed with the Detroit Lions. As we've noted in the morning show for a few weeks now, including today, you've got a lot of people talking about, hey, get my agent on the phone with Brad Holmes. Brad Holmes came out and said, once the 53-man roster cuts happened earlier this week, he was inundated. Anybody and their mother, their brother, or whatever, that had a wide receiver that was now a free agent, that agent was calling for the Detroit Lions and talking to Brad Holmes about, hey, what do we got to do to have our guy come play there? It's also changed when you look around the league. Nobody has the same narrative when it comes to Detroit. It's not a downtrodden franchise. It's not this and anything. Free agents want to target Detroit because of what this regime has brought to it. It's not just the front offices. It is the coaching staff as well. You don't hear in social media, you don't hear anything of a negative stance from anybody, players, coaches, or whoever, about the Detroit Lions organization. The players like being here. And you can't say everybody, but we'll just say 99% of the players and coaches love being here. And that really resonates with coaches and players. The fact nobody's talking negatively. There's nothing about a contract negotiation that's going wrong, or this guy might hold out, or this guy's unhappy. All that's been removed from the Detroit Lions. So if I am Micah Parsons, I get now why he would list, if I was to leave Dallas, why Detroit would be one of my top 4 teams that I would consider. From the other aspect of things, to furthering his career, his fame, you think about how you would use him if you're Aaron Glenn in this system, and he would probably, he'd cause a whole lot of problems because you can only double team so many people on that defensive front, blitzing or not. Let's just assume they only send 4 guys after the quarterback. Well, how many people are going to block DJ Reader, Lee McNeil, Aiden Hutchinson, Micah Parsons if he becomes a full-time end versus a linebacker end? Now, if you don't just use those 4 and you start blitzing them, and like I said, using pulls, stunts, delays, or whatever it is, he covers ground in a hurry. He's got some burst. He can get to it. I want to reiterate, I have no idea if this is going to happen. I'm voting it's probably not going to happen. I'd say 90% chance it doesn't happen. But since you now have multiple outlets across the nation reporting it, and again, Yahoo Sports, WSN, among others, I think it's at least worthwhile exploring the idea. But my final thought would be, what do you have to give up to acquire this guy? It's probably not going to be cheap, because while he's got limited time left on his contract, you're going to have to give him a new contract. Otherwise, why get him? It wouldn't make any sense. So let's real quick. I'm not going to be here for a long time with this one. Let's see what you guys have to say and go from there. Clark, Hex, yes, I'd do this. Our defense would be over the top. I would agree. I would say I've gone on record saying I think our defense can be like number 12 through number 7 this year. If you were to acquire Micah Parsons and all the heat you'd now be able to generate with that front 7, I'd say you're probably top 5, maybe top 3 in the NFL. I'd see not just no fly zone, no run zone, but man, no offense zone. You would be able to obliterate the vast majority of offenses in the NFL, I anticipate, especially looking at the division with a young Jordan Love, Caleb Williams, Sam Darnold. I think those 3 quarterbacks alone would struggle the vast majority of the time with this defense, let alone whoever else you're going to face. See, Big Eddie, believe it when I see it. Yeah, I'm with you there, man. I just don't see a huge difference between Parsons and your boy Houston, to be honest, Coach. Coach D, I'd say there's some difference. I mean, Parsons, I could be wrong. I think he's better in run defense. But to be fair, Big Eddie, I have not watched him nearly as much as I've watched Houston. Houston, I think, and Parsons getting the quarterback, very similar. I would agree with you there. Run defense, I'm assuming, at least, I'll put it that way, I'm assuming there's a noticeable difference. See, Walt, yes, do it. I'm with you there, if at the right price. AJ, we would be scary good on D. I think there's no denying that. Walt, hit the like button for Dan and the Do Crew. Woo! And thank you for that, Walt. Thank you very much. Stephanie, working hard today, Coach! Exclamation point. Please, Brad, bring Micah Parsons into the fold. We'll see what he does. Walt, I made a live show. Woo! You know what? Just for you, my friend, I'll give you, how about, I don't know, let's go with a Sheila. What do you say? Sheila on 3. 1, 2. If I can find her, man, where did I put Sheila Hamp? Boy, some of my stuff is missing. So maybe I can't give you a Sheila. But, all right, I'll give you at least a... Would you know what? I found her right after I hit the button. So sorry about that, Walt. All right, Jess, Parsons would be a game changer to this lineup. AG could blitz less and cover more. There is some of that. You could mix up your coverages a whole lot more, knowing that front 4 is going to get to the quarterback. Darcy, yes, 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 exclamation point. But never will happen, I fear. Yeah, that's probably where I'm at with it. Doug Laporte, now that would be a woo, and good day to you too. See, Miles, hey y'all, how's it going? It's going pretty good. How about you, Miles? Hopefully you're having a great weekend, my friend. Donkey Kong, Super Bowl or bust? I'll go with all the above. Good day to you, Donkey. Let's see, Michael, what up, Doe? What up to you too? Miles, I think I heard this in a rumor mill. Maybe yesterday morning on a podcast, listened while driving. Yeah, and I did put rumor on the thumbnail because I know sometimes people react differently if you don't put stuff up there. I don't think it's going to happen. But again, with more and more people at least speculating on it, I thought it was at least noteworthy. Donkey Kong effing Parsons is not coming to Detroit. Yeah, I would think so. I think we agree with that, Donkey Kong. But hey, if it happens, it happens. Angela, love 100%, and hopefully you're having a great day. Or see, Jordy, very much doubt this. Yeah, me too, man. How would we pay him and Hutch and Aleem? That's the big burning question, isn't it? There's no doubt there. You would have to run into that problem as well. So I guess you could always get creative, but to me, this does not seem like a Brad Holmes type move. So wait and see. Don, not happening. Next topic. I would agree with you, Donnie. I'm with you. I'd say less than 10% chance. Big D, if it was even possible, yeah, don't get excited, crew. Yeah, I would say take it as what it is. It's speculation. People reporting it. The only reason why I did a video again is just because you have Parsons listing Detroit now as a potential destination spot. And now you've got more and more national media places saying they've got somebody on the inside saying that they know that the two teams have talked. So go with that for what it is. Next. Yeah, I knew where you're at with that, Don. I knew. Motown, people forget so quickly that just a couple years ago he said, ain't nobody wanting to go to Detroit. Yeah, and I agree with you there. His tune has changed on Detroit. Zoom, what do you got? I doubt this would happen. By the way, yeah. Woo! And yeah, I think everybody's in agreement here with that. No, probably limited chance it happens. Rich, I don't think he would be good for the locker room. There could be that aspect too. I don't know enough about him, Rich, to know if he would fit or not. So, I'm not going to have a comment on it. See, Don, not even Brad Holmes' way of dealing. It would cost at least 2 first-round picks and a top player. Yeah, that's where I think you and I or probably most of us, it sounds like, are on the same page, Don. It's just I think he's a pretty good player. I don't think he's an elite player, in my opinion. I don't think he's like a Lawrence Taylor or Derek Thomas. I think he's dang good. Now dang good on a scale of 1 to 10. I think he's like an 8 out of 10. Where like an elite guy's a 10 out of 10. So I think he'd be a heck of a piece. Would I give up multiple firsts to get him? Probably not. Sanders, this is a big time move. If this happens, go Lions. Yeah, if they pull this off, one, Sanders, I want to know what do you give up to get him, and 2, how much is that contract going to cost? Because I get if the Cowboys move on from him, I get why he can't pay everybody, and is he worth that value? I just think you look at Brad Holmes in his history. He wants to draft guys, let them prove themselves, then pay them, reward them for their services. Bringing in a guy on a trade and then paying him versus your own guys, I think that would be a big dent in the psyche of the Detroit Lions. See, Johnny, that would be crazy drama between him and Sewell. There you go. I don't see it either. Dallas will only part if it is a king's ransom. Yeah, and hey, maybe they just let him play out his contract and then he's a free agent. Miles, people out there trying to get Lions fans clicks, including Yahoo. There's probably a lot of that. I think you're probably more right than you know, Miles. As the Lions fandom grows, which it has nationally, and you talk to like Anthony Lions Roar UK or France in our chat most mornings at least, you hear more and more people internationally talking about the Detroit Lions. So I get it. If you're an organization trying to get readership or whatever, you probably do have to put out more stories for that fan base. Chrome, didn't they want 2 first rounders for Max? Probably want 3 for Parsons. There could be a lot of truth to that. Maybe it'd be better off just getting Max Crosby. Shaq, what do you got? NFL trades, it would be a 3rd and a new contract. Could be that too. Now, would you give up a 3rd in the new contract? I would argue that it might not be terrible. I'd probably try to work my way down to a fourth, and you give us back a 6th and 7th, but we'll see. Don, laughing out loud, getting Parsons for a 3rd. We'll see what shakes out. 3rd first rounders, Don. Yeah, there you go. William, not going to happen. The cost would be higher than Brad would pay. Yeah, I think everybody in the chat, we all agree on that, William. So 100%. Don, exactly 3 first-round picks. And before you could say 3, Brad would hang up the phone in the face. Yeah, I think you're probably right. Ronnie, as nice as that would be, it would never happen. Yeah, I think we're all agreeing on that. Chrome, yep. All right, see, Miles, it's going to be about who wants to ring more than the cash. Okay, I would say there's truth to that. 9 Drinks, good morning. Duke Crew, back at you. The non-laughers, I don't think Brad will get rid of Montgomery. Yeah, that was the other thing. Why would you trade David Montgomery for it? But I know one of the articles, not all of them, but one of them listed David Montgomery as part of the trade part for Dallas. So they would get him and some draft capital. Say Miles, high at 9. There you go. Bo, if it is the middle of life, woo! All right, I'll go with that. See, Don, to be honest, Montgomery probably gone next year. Baki will be filling that position. if you were to trade David Montgomery or move on from him, I think you're right, Don. It's because Sion Vaki's level has developed enough where you can say, all right, we can't keep all three. We don't need all three. Who are we going to get rid of? And the non-laughers, it would hurt us long-term. Yeah, I would agree. Getting rid of that much capital. See, Michael, it is a business. Anything is possible in sports. It is. I'm going to say it's less than 10% or less likely to happen. But, I mean, it still means there's a chance, right? So nobody foresaw Buster Douglas knocking out Mike Tyson. It happened, though. See, Johnny, 2 reasons it won't. Draft picks and locker room. I'll go with both. Don, not that. Laughing out loud. Sanders, I remember this happened when Kyle Vandenbosch joined the Lions. Okay, there we go. It's a good call right there on Kyle Vandenbosch. The hype. Yes, the hype is real. See, Johnny, 3rd reason, how would we pay McNeil? Man, you'd have to do some real Scooby-Dooing with those numbers, wouldn't you? All right, guys, a couple more, and then I'm going to get on in here. Don Parsons, I better than Houston. Come on now, people. Shake my hand. Hey, everybody has their own opinion, my friend. Bo, Red Eye, Kyle, there you go. Miles Marcus, Sheila's is the best. I'll go with that. Randy, if Micah comes to Detroit, I'd probably have to buy his jersey, but I'm doubtful. Yeah, I think about all of us, Randy, don't really anticipate this is even a reality thing. Like, I know I'm saying, hey, I got it as maybe a 10% chance of happening because there's always a chance, right? It's just I would not say it's a very good chance. Mike the Marine, howdy, Dan. Rumors could happen. Woo! Yeah, I mean, back in the day, you probably never thought you were going to trade Matt Stafford for Jared Goff and a bunch of draft picks. I mean, most people 6 months ahead of time would have said, zero chance of that happening, but yet it did. So, Richard, what would Lions give up? ? It wouldn't be cheap. No, and that's the problem. I think that's what would, in my opinion, Richard, there's 2 things that kill the deal, and I know a lot of you guys have put it in the comment section already. The amount of capital you have to give up and the contract you're going to have to give up. Because giving him that contract means it's going to get dicey keeping some of your own players. Bo is the woo. All right. Boo is the woo. All right. Chrome, you have to draft players like Parsons. They cost too much draft capital. Yeah, I agree with you there. Rely on the scouting department, and the coaching staff to develop. That's where this franchise has really done a great job. And that's also why I think they're not going to easily give up draft capital. Motown, anyone seems to want to be going to a 3-4-D, could trade Hutch for him. Hutch is not a 3-4-DE, but Micah is a 3-4 linebacker. Fair enough. Let's see, not happening. Next, let's see, Motown with Donber, I stand. All right, 3 or 4 more, and then I'm out of here. Casey, didn't Parsons say before he was drafted that no one wanted to be drafted or play in Detroit? He did say that. He did. Skip that guy, stand down, or get traded to the Falcons or Panthers. Yeah, and he does seem like he's changed his tune on that. I guess that the Jedi, what would he give up? It seems dumb. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen, man. And I think it would cost too much, in my opinion. Shaw, what do you got? Parsons isn't a QB. The pick exchange is different. There might be a level of truth to that, too. The 49ers wide receiver was going for a 3rd and a new contract. That's true. Hassan Reddick went for a 3rd and a new contract. I have comps that not reasonable. Yeah, I'll go with that. RF, the Lions cannot afford to pay Parsons and Hutch and Ali McNeil and others who will come up. Johnny Mac, the non-laughers, is an awesome handle. Agree with the long-term hurt. Yes, agree. Bo, I bet the Buster Douglas, what a haul. Yeah, you bet on him. If you won, yeah, that was a heck of a one. KT, what do you got? Micah said no one would come to Detroit. Hard pass. He dissed the Lions. Detroit City, living-wise, I understand, but the team is Super Bowl contender. Who wouldn't want to play for contender? That's also true. Motown's got a lower chance than mine. You might be more accurate, man. RF, I saw the article, fake news as usual. Yeah, and again, there's a couple of them, and they could all just simply be piggybacking off each other. That's totally possible. So we'll wait and see what shakes out. Steve, what do you got? Draft capital is worth more than Parsons. I agree, especially to this regime. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. If there is some sort of breaking news today, I'll get it over to you. Otherwise, if you would, as you're checking out, take a half-second time, hit that thumbs up button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You guys all know the gist. Otherwise, take care. Do something nice for somebody you don't know. Have a great day. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you all in the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.
Happy trails to you until